On today's show, Hyundai gets aggressive with the price of the Ioniq hybrid and EV, and why owners of autonomous cars are not going to use them for ride sharing. All that and more coming right up on Autoline Daily. This is Autoline Daily, the show for enthusiasts of the automotive industry. Hyundai sure is getting aggressive with the prices for the new Ioniq hybrid and electric. The hybrid starts at just over $23,000, including destination charges, and that undercuts the Toyota Prius by a couple of grand. The electric, with 124 miles of range, starts a bit over 30 grand, including destination charges, but not including tax incentives. But you might want to wait on the electric. Autoblog says an updated EV will be out by 2018 with over 200 miles of range, and that would put it right on par with the Chevy Bolt EV. Some small vans sure have goofy styling, but Citroen's going to have a concept in Geneva that we think looks pretty cool. The SpaceTourer 4x4 concept has a cute face that almost seems to invite you inside. Based on the short wheelbase version of the SpaceTourer that's already in the market, it comes with a four-wheel drive system. But don't you think this concept would be a slouch off-road? Its suspension has been raised nearly 2.5 inches. It comes with front and rear skid plates, and the tires are wrapped in snow chains. And don't be bummed about this being a concept. Citroen says it could absolutely convert the production version into what you see. You know, about 30 years ago, Ford tried building its own wind tunnel, but gave up. Now, it's back at it again, and that is coming up next.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, your journey, our passion. Dow Automotive Systems, advanced materials that deliver better results. Lear, a global leader in automotive seating and electrical systems. And by Yen Feng, experience in motion.
Yesterday, we reported on how General Motors could end up selling Opel to PSA. That move comes just as the European market is getting back on its feet. Last year, 19.9 million light and heavy vehicles were sold there, and that was up 5.3% from the year before. But GM seems to be giving up on the idea that it can turn Opel around. Bloomberg reports that since 1999, Opel lost $20 billion. And with Brexit looming, GM could continue to lose money in Europe for years to come. So it's understandable why GM would want to cut its losses. Even so, giving up on the European market is nothing more than unconditional surrender, made all the more shocking when you see that Ford turned its European operations around and is now making a $1 billion profit there. Speaking of Ford, it just announced it's spending $200 million to build its own wind tunnel not far from its engineering campus just outside of Detroit. The tunnel will have a rolling ground plane and will be able to simulate speeds up to 200 miles an hour. It will also have an environmental chamber to test cars from 40 degrees below zero on up to 140 degrees. Ironically, this is Ford's second attempt at building its own tunnel. About 30 years ago or so, it sunk the pilings for a tunnel right next to its product development center off Oakwood Boulevard. But in a cost-saving move, that project got canceled and everyone promptly forgot about it. The fact that Ford is now building a wind tunnel shows that even with computational fluid dynamic software, simulation is not enough. Physical testing is a critical part of developing cars for better fuel efficiency and longer electric range. Still to come, if you got an autonomous car, would you share it as part of a ride-sharing program? Coming up next, we have one expert who says people are not going to do that.
Bridgestone's new Ecopia Plus tires are fuel efficient and engineered to give you 20 extra miles per tank.
20 extra miles? Good, because usually I have to stop and fill up there. Hit me, Ben.
Learn more at BridgestoneTire.com.
If you travel to different countries, you can often be surprised by the different pronunciations of car names. Recently, we had Michael Dunn in the studio for an upcoming Autoline This Week all about China, and he shared with us how some familiar car brands that we know get pronounced in China. For example, Buick becomes Buick, Cadillac becomes Cadillac, Ford is pronounced Futa, and GM is Tongyang. Now, I'm sure all you fluent Mandarin speakers out there cringed at the way I said it, but for everyone else, there's your Chinese lesson for the day. Ride-sharing companies such as Uber and Lyft are growing fast. Autonomous cars are just a few years away. But will owners of autonomous cars allow them to be used for ride-sharing and car sharing? Alexander Mankovsky is a futurist who works for Mercedes-Benz. He's one of my guests on Autoline this week. And in the following clip, he explains why people are not going to share their autonomous cars.
But I give you a different perspective. If you have autonomous cars, what is the most important part of the autonomous car? Then the interior.
Yes.
The people will have their own interior, their living room. You wouldn't ride share your living room, yeah?
You know, we shot that show at CES and it is jam-packed with great information on future automotive technology. We'll post it on the Autoline website Thursday afternoon. And with that, we wrap up today's report. Thanks for watching, and please join us again tomorrow.